The Supreme Court today upheld the death sentence for 26/11 terrorist Ajmal Kasab, saying it was the rarest of rare cases to come before the court since the birth of the Indian Republic. A conspiracy so large, deep and vicious that it should also attract the rarest of rare punishment.
Death for 26/11's face of terror, Ajmal Amir Kasab, the lone surviving Pakistani terrorist. The Supreme Court confirmed the death penalty awarded to Kasab, one of the 10 attackers responsible for the bloody carnage that took 166 innocent lives in Mumbai. The apex court even observed it was crystal clear the conspiracy was hatched by Pakistanis in Pakistan.
I'm sure that Pakistan will not fail to take note of whatever has happened in the Supreme Court of India.
The Supreme Court said there was no option but to uphold the death sentence. The foremost offence was to wage war against India. Kasab's confession was voluntary and that he was given a fair trial. Kasab still has 2 legal remedies and can appeal in the Supreme Court. He can then plead for mercy before the President of India. If and when rejected, only then will he hang.
Currently, there are 11 mercy pleas sitting on President Pranab Mukherjee's desk and Kasab could be number 12. However, there is no requirement for him to take them up in a chronological order.
10 साल पहले पार्लियामेंट पर जिसने हमला किया उसको भी उच्चतम न्यायालय ने फांसी की सजा सुनाई, उनकी कंफर्म की थी। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य है कि आज तक उस पर अमल नहीं हुआ है।
For terror victims, delays they believe that are denying them justice.
This country is not punishing terrorists like Kasab and Afzal Guru. How they are going to punish the corrupt politicians?
Today's judgment sends out a message that Indian judiciary strictly follows the rule of law even in respect of a Pakistani national. The fact that court appointed a senior lawyer to defend Kasab shows full opportunity was given to him. With Saurav Gupta and Imtiaz Jalil, this is Arunachalam Vaidyanathan for NDTV.
So as the Supreme Court upholds the death penalty for Kasab, we're asking whether Kasab should be executed soon, whether this will really provide closure to the families who have been facing the trauma of 26/11 for 4 years now. Joining us on the program tonight is Bhisham Mansukhani, who is a survivor of those attacks. He was at the Taj Hotel and was holed up there for several hours while this was going on. We have lawyer and columnist Satvik Verma. We have activist Kavita Srivastav here in the studio with us. We have senior journalist Padma Rao Sundarji. Also joining us tonight is senior lawyer Dushyant Dave. Mr. Dave, let me ask you first. There are, through this judgment today of the Supreme Court, a variety of conflicting questions that are thrown up. One of them is, of course, that on one hand, even for a terrorist who has confessed with all the overwhelming evidence that was there against him, he was caught on tape, there was a confession that the Supreme Court has said by and large it upholds to be correct. It's taken 4 years to get this far. We don't know what's going to happen after this. Some would say that this is actually a testimony that our judicial system works, that this is a judicial system that is fair, that even a terrorist like Ajmal Kasab, goes through the process of law. Others would say that this is an example of the tardiness of our judicial system. How do you see it? All right, let me take that question to Satvik Verma because Mr. Dave can't hear me.
Nidhi, I think to say that it's taken 4 years is any attribution to the judiciary being tardy is absolutely unfair. According to me, I think it's a clear manifestation that our judicial system works. I think it's a clear manifestation about the fact that there is still supremacy of the rule of law in our country. This judgment clearly, and I believe that there's 400 pages, I perused through the judgment, it's been written very painstakingly. The judgment clearly establishes the fact that in our country, even someone who's waging a war, what has been said, waging war against the nation, is given a fair trial. But equally so, Nidhi, what this judgment does, and I think we should not miss these points because we'll be doing a great disservice to the jurisprudence that this judgment establishes, is a couple of different things. One, this judgment has made very clear what the definition of waging war against India is. It spends a large part of the judgment explaining what that is, and I think that's an important part of the judgment. Number two, Nidhi, what it also does is the concept and the principles of the rarest of rare cases has been exemplified in multiple cases previously at the Supreme Court. This judgment enforces those principles that have been enumerated, and what it once again reaffirms is the fact that death penalty is constitutionally valid and recognized in India, and the Supreme Court is upholding
Okay,
that.
so you see this as an example that even a terrorist like Kasab is able to get a fair trial in this
Absolutely.
country. Padma, do you see it that way? Because there are a lot of people who have also been frustrated with the way the judicial system works. How do you see it?
You know, I would like to say that this is one of the proudest days as an Indian, and we haven't had a lot of proud days in the recent past for a variety of reasons. I completely agree with Satvik about that. You know, I don't see any tardiness. I'd like to compare this with what happened in Naroda. I mean, this case that came up on Naroda Patia, for instance. The Gujarat riots happened in 2002. It took till 2012 to pronounce a judgment on this particular group of people and this ex-minister in the BJP government. Mumbai, from 2008 to 2012, by those standards, is relatively fast. There's one small point I'd like to make. However, you know, today the Home Minister Shinde went on record and said that if Kasab files a mercy petition, we will ensure that it is disposed of in minimal time. This proves that justice can be expedited or delayed by politicians, that they do, you know, to a certain extent yield some amount of influence on the speed of a judgment. But was this a tardy judgment? No, I don't think so. I think it came very speedily.
But do you think he should be executed soon?
Fast. I think he should be executed fast. I don't hold a candle to activists. I mean, with all due respects, there are people, you know, who speak of his age. He's only 25 years old. Yes, that is a terrible thing to have happened to a 25-year-old. But on the other hand, I will look at it, I would prefer to look at it, and I think millions of Indians join me in that, in looking at it from the point of view of those who lost their families and their near and dear ones in this attack. They would not want the larger, you know, the sort of largesse and magnanimity to be shown to him. And I think it's only fair that justice is delivered to them as well.
I want to
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.